What's up, guys? They're going to continue the Stanley Parable. Thanks for watching. Please consider clicking subscribe and like buttons if you want to see more. Helps out a ton. Okay, let's go. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're really taking time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. And that's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up your game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay. Stanley Parable. Let's go. The end is never to end is never to end.
This is the story of
we already saw this. If you have not seen... If you don't know what this game is, go back and watch the first episode. Because this is the second episode. If you didn't know. No. If you didn't know that, so yeah.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, the number of times we're going to hear that. Oh. For a moment, I was like right over here, and I thought there was like nothing there, and I was like, oh boy, not again.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I'm gonna go to the left.
He entered the door on his left.
Left.
Yet there was not a single person here
this?
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I'm gonna go down this time. I'm gonna go down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I thought there was like something spooky. Oh, there's a car. How does a car get in here?
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Elevator.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's
my cat
head.
just sat
One he was amazed he hadn't
keyboard.
asked himself sooner. Why is
So
there a
cute.
voice in my head
Wait a minute,
dictating
I'm gonna get my
everything
kitty
that I'm
some
doing
love.
and thinking?
He's so
Now
cute.
the voice was describing
Cute
itself
cat.
being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about
looping.
how it's describing my thoughts.
Why am
he
I still
thought.
walking? I mean, like, I
And
could
while
just
he
stop.
thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
Oh, wait, I
he
can-
knew for certain,
oh.
beyond a doubt, that this was
I'm
in
short
fact
now.
a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight
Why
of the
can't I
blanket
still
on
see
his
around the
skin,
edges?
the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh boy.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
I'm going
I
crazy.
must be real.
I'm going
must
crazy.
Be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
My goodness.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Oh, okay.
Then she
No.
remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no
my
time
cat
for this,
just
so
pressed
it
my
was
space
only a
bar.
moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, my cat. He keeps trying to lay on my keyboard. The end is never the end, isn't it? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
No, I'm going right.
he
No,
entered
no.
the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Stanley stepped into
No.
the broom closet,
Broom
but
closet.
there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I'm gonna stay in the broom closet. I like it here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom
It's
closet.
a broom closet.
No reason to still be here.
Well, if the dialogue's still going, then there's a reason to be here. that a nuclear
It was
symbol?
baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I just like the broom closet. It's chill. Chill broom closet.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, if we're still talking about it, then there's definitely a reason. So I'm staying.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to... Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Oh, yeah.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
I'm sorry if this is boring,
When you've done that, just
but
step
I
out
am
into the hallway.
so curious right now. What happens if I keep staying here? Got the light. There's a light. Light have anything of significance to do? No. What if I stay in here even longer? Is he gonna stay anything? Say anything? Stay anything. Say anything, yeah. Okay, fine.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
So I'm gonna go over here.
Coming to a staircase,
No,
Stanley walked
my broom
upstairs
closet.
to his boss's office.
Okay. What if I go over here? Whoa, can't see myself in the mirror. I have I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Up. Woohoo. Elevator. Wait, can I click into this one? What? I'm still here? What if I go down? Woohoo! Going down. Why is this piece of paper glowing? Are you kidding me? I'm still here? Okay, I have a feeling that elevator does nothing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I remember it's like
what he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Am I going like the same way? Can I? Oh man. What about over here? Oh? Oh, I can sorta? Did I find a secret? Come on, there has to be something over here. Aw, man. Do I have to do this the normal way? No.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
What happens if I just go back up?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Yep, there we go.
Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
The end is never the end. Well, here we are.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Maybe because already opened the door. It says the code's wrong, so. Maybe back down?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Oh boy.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back
in the
elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh, I love how sarcastic he is. And you know what we're going to do. What? Why can't I go down? How dare he stop me?
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
Oh, the windows are closed.
This absolutely changes everything
Oh, I
for
think
me.
there's like it before.
Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Oh. Oh my.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more
not
time to
again.
process.
Oh. Coffee bird.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course, going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Yes.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense,
the boss's
the
office.
agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
No. No.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
No.
it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big,
Yeah.
explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started.
Oh
Where's
boy.
the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced
they're speeding.
appreciation for the
Speeding up,
story,
I think.
the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to
Oh, please say
anticipate,
this goes
and then
faster.
to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years.
No, it's not.
And it's really all
Please
because
let
of
me
you.
out.
You're
Don't
the
go
one
over
who took
there.
this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean
Oh,
it.
boy.
This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not
Ooh, I wanna
pandered
go over
to.
there.
We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content
can I
that
exit,
makes us feel
please?
sharp and vital and alive.
That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when
This
to
might
spring
take a
this on you,
while.
but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling
Yes.
and your life.
The elevator's
Yes, I
speeding
know
up.
you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you
We're
from
there.
the beginning. They really
We're
look up to
here.
you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Okay, can I...
Oh, good, we're here.
Okay, a summary for any of you who skipped that, which I reasonably would.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press
So,
conference should be
he's
just
calling me a
around the
role
corner
model,
here
and he
somewhere.
thinks I'm, like, the best storyteller. And he says that going slow in an elevator and doing what we were doing is, like, basically top-notch storytelling. So, I guess we're here now. World's healthiest human being. How we did it. The pyramids. Wait, what? The guy who went to Mars. Live the guy who went to Mars. Oops. All eyes on Stanley. Stanley. Live on stage. Oh, wait. We're Stanley. I don't wanna...
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
No, thank you. World's first sentient machine. To stage. Welcome,
All right, are you
Stanley.
ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature
Almonds,
of surprise
chair,
in storytelling
gum,
and what it means
table,
to craft
nut
a
bar.
truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you,
427, isn't that
Stanley.
our room number?
Okay, it looks like they're ready for you.
There's something
Go
on
get 'em.
that. Is that a... What is that? Stanley, me. Huh? Whoa! So bright. Is this a fashion show? Up, down, then up, then down, then up, and up. It's so bright. What? Is that it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Okay, I
mean?
think we...
Stanley
won?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What is over here? I want the new content. Ooh, wait, where do we go? Oh,
Hello,
cool.
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra
Whoa.
Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Wow.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go.
Oh,
All
here we
right,
go.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
I
I've
can't
never
wait.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Taking
I
a
have to
while.
say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Content. It's a jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Whoa, wait. I can jump it now? Whoa. You can jump now. I guess we're gonna jump until we're out of jumps remaining. Oh, we're out of jumps. No.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new
That was a
content.
lot of
There
new
has to be something
content.
else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I
It's just
disagree. I
elevators
liked
and
the jump circle.
Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Oh,
Very good.
yay.
Yes. I knew there had
What is
to
it
be
now,
something
the
else.
sprint
Let's
square?
see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers
Yay.
with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship
loved
that's
the
gone
new
into it. In
content.
fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Hi, Twitter.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid.
Hi,
I
Twitter.
could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
No,
No
but
frills,
but
no
the new
gimmicks.
content.
Just you and me having a great time together like
Aw, man.
always. What do you say, friend?
No, I want the new content. The end is never the whoa, it looks different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay. Do you have new content for me? I'll take new content.
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
What?
Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wait. Is that actually the time? No, it's not. Alright. Stanley Parable demonstration. unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Wow, so happy.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh, there's the 2 doors. Person of the year, me, I think. Buttons. Happy button. I want to press the happy button. Where's the happy button?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Spot.com.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game
Carpet
memories.
textures. Gray, red, missing coworkers scenario, meeting, boring, grass. More door. Can I go through that door? Can I go through that door?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh,
You're not. You're not
this is
preachy.
actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse
Man.
to begin with.
It's
You can't
like
know
kind
how
of
much fluff
evil
I cut from
review
the game to get it to feel
wasteland.
as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh. That's just
skip
mean.
button.
That's just mean.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from
Still
the
there.
record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's
what
my
the-
motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Anything.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable
boy.
by any means, but it's...
I see where this is
there's really only
going.
so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's
God.
been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there.
Oh.
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, the plants.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Oh my
Or 2
gosh.
weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single...
I think I killed the narrator. Oh.
Hello.
Never mind, he's
It's
back.
you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh.
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is...
Is he dead? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry. I'm mean. I'm sorry, guys. Narrator? What's the fire alarm going on? Oh, I'm sorry. Narrator, I'm sorry.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Oh my
But
gosh.
where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of account...
Hello? You know, dude, if you wanted, you could just, like, remove the button, but you're not removing it.
The end is never the end.
Is never the end, 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 is never the
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the...
Oh, it's leaking now. That's great. Oh. Okay. So, things have started to fall apart. Not great. Oh. Now it's... Huh. I don't want to stand under that. Oh, there's plants now. How cute. How cute and fun and not making me feel guilty at all. Button. Oh, where'd they go? It's dark and scary now. I don't like it. What's that noise? Can I button, please? Button. You know, when is this wall gonna collapse? I wanna, like, be free. It's all scary now. Freedom! Freedom! Oh. Oh! Yeah, I can't help but think this is an issue. Is the narrator still here? And at this point, wouldn't the sun, like, exploded? Probably. Where am I supposed to go? Oh. The end is never the end. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess that's that. Let's end here for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see what you think, and maybe I'll be back with more of the Stanley Parable soon. If there are any other games like me to play, then leave a comment below. Thanks, and goodbye. That's all for today. If you want to see more, hit the like button to improve our score. Please consider subscribing too, so our new videos will be added to your queue. See you next time!